Imagine a killer so precise, surgeons thought he was one of their own. A phantom who butchered 5 women in the world's most heavily policed city, then simply vanished. This isn't a Hollywood movie. This is the terrifying, unsolved reality of history's most notorious ghost, Jack the Ripper. Welcome to the Archive Room. Today, we step into the suffocating fog of 1888 London, a place where the scent of coal, smoke, mixed with the metallic stench of blood. We are reopening the ultimate cold case. What you are about to hear might disturb you. You've been warned. Autumn of Terror, 1888. Whitechapel was a nightmare of crushing poverty. Overcrowded slums, desperate souls, and pitch-black alleyways. It was the perfect hunting ground for a predator. The police patrolled constantly, yet this monster committed atrocities in complete silence, right under their very noses. How did he escape? August 31st, the nightmare begins. Marion Nichols is found lifeless on Bucks Row. The violence of the crime shocks hardened detectives. It wasn't just a murder, it was a dark, anatomical display. The city woke up to a new kind of evil. The reign of the Ripper started. Just days later, Annie Chapman suffers a similar, gruesome fate. Panic infects London like a plague. Newspapers realize fear sells, printing sensational headlines that fueled the hysteria. Suddenly, every shadow held knife. Women refused to walk alone. The police were entirely paralyzed, hunting a ghost in the smog. Then came September 30th, the double event. Jack grew bold, striking twice in a single bloody night. Elizabeth Stride was found first. The killer was interrupted, leaving his grisly work unfinished. Frustrated and craving more, he vanished into the dark, seeking a second victim before the sun rose. Less than an hour later, he found Catherine Eddowes. This time, he wasn't interrupted. The precision of the mutilations left investigators pale. The coroner stated the killer possessed undeniable surgical skill. He knew exactly where organs were in absolute darkness. Was the killer a doctor hiding in plain sight? Fleeing the second murder, the killer dropped a bloody piece of an apron. Above it, a chilling message was scrawled in chalk on a brick wall. The Jews are the men that will not be blamed for nothing. Fearing deadly riots, the police commissioner ordered the message erased immediately. Then, the taunting began. Hundreds of fake letters flooded Scotland Yard, but one stood out. Written in red ink, the author mocked the police, promising to clip the next victim's ears. It was signed with a name that would echo through eternity, Jack the Ripper. The legend was born. The police published the letter, hoping someone would recognize the handwriting. It was a massive mistake. The killer became a celebrity. A postcard arrived next, smeared with blood, referencing the double murder before details were completely public. Saucy Jackie's twisted game of cat and mouse destroyed police morale entirely. But nothing prepared investigators for October 16th. A small cardboard box arrived for George Lusk, head of the local vigilance committee. Inside was a letter, not signed Jack, but simply heading the page with 2 terrifying words, "From hell." What accompanied the letter made even hardened detectives violently sick. Inside the box lay half of a human kidney, preserved in wine. The letter's author claimed he had fried and eaten the other half. Medical experts confirmed the organ likely belonged to Catherine Eddowes. The predator wasn't just killing, he was harvesting. He was treating humans like literal prey. November 9th. The final canonical victim, Mary Jane Kelly. Unlike the others, she was murdered indoors, inside her own locked room. With unlimited time and privacy, the Ripper unleashed unimaginable horrors. Photographs of the crime scene remain some of the most deeply disturbing images ever captured in human history. And then, total silence. The brutal murders abruptly stopped. Why? Did he die? Was he imprisoned for another crime? Did he immigrate to America? Or did his mind completely shatter, landing him in a terrifying Victorian asylum? The abrupt end to the killings only amplified the absolute terrifying mystery. Scotland Yard interviewed over 2,000 people. They investigated more than 300 suspects and detained 80. Yet they had nothing. No fingerprints, no DNA, no cameras. Only foggy streets, contradictory eyewitnesses, and a mountain of bloody letters. It remains the most monumental failure in British criminal investigative history. So who is he? Over a century of investigation has produced wild theories, ranging from impoverished butchers to the highest echelons of British society. Let's open the suspect files. The first suspect is someone the British royal family desperately wishes we would completely forget about. A true royal scandal. Prince Albert Victor, Queen Victoria's grandson. The theory claims the prince secretly married a Catholic prostitute who bore his child. To protect the throne's reputation, the Prime Minister allegedly ordered the Queen's personal physician to eliminate anyone who knew the secret. Could Jack the Ripper be a royal assassin? While the royal conspiracy makes for an incredible movie plot, the facts simply don't align. The prince wasn't even in London during the murders. However, the fact that the public could genuinely believe the royal family was capable of such butchery shows the extreme level of societal distrust. Suspect number 2, Montague John Druitt, an Oxford-educated gentleman, teacher, and doctor. He fit this psychological profile perfectly. Shortly after the final brutal murder of Mary Jane Kelly, Druitt's body was found floating in the River Thames. Did the guilt finally consume him, driving him to a watery grave? The chief investigator of the case secretly believed Druitt was the killer. His suicide perfectly coincided with the end of the murders. But he had an alibi for one of the nights, and his medical knowledge was strictly theoretical. Was he a convenient scapegoat for a desperate police force? Suspect 3, Aaron Kosminski, a Polish barber living in Whitechapel. He was deeply unstable, had a profound hatred for women, and reportedly heard murderous voices. He was known to police and eventually committed to an insane asylum. Decades later, modern science would thrust his name back into the blinding spotlight. In 2014, scientists claimed they found Kosminski's DNA on a shawl belonging to victim Catherine Eddowes. The world erupted. The Ripper is finally caught. But wait. Experts quickly argued the shawl was heavily contaminated over 130 years, rendering the DNA results highly questionable. The definitive proof slipped away once again. Suspect 4, Dr. Francis Tumblety, an eccentric, towering American doctor with a massive mustache and a fierce hatred of women. He possessed a horrifying private collection of preserved human organs. Scotland Yard considered him a prime suspect, but he fled across the ocean to New York before his arrest. Did Jack the Ripper escape to the United States? Tumblety was in London during the exact time frame of the murders. He had medical knowledge, wealth, and the perfect motive. Yet, American authorities refused to extradite him back to Britain. He took his dark, twisted secrets directly to his grave. Some theorists push an even wilder narrative. What if America's first serial killer, H.H. Holmes, traveled to London? Holmes was a doctor who built a murder castle in Chicago. Handwriting analysis between Holmes and the Ripper letters shows shocking similarities. Two legendary monsters sharing one single terrifying dark identity. The list of suspects is endless. A slaughterhouse worker covered in blood. A deeply disturbed midwife hiding in plain sight. Even famed author Lewis Carroll, creator of Alice in Wonderland, has been accused through bizarre anagrams hidden in his books. Everyone is a suspect, yet absolutely no one is guilty. Jack the Ripper wasn't the first serial killer, but he was the first to terrify a modern metropolis. He manipulated the newly established mass media, turning murder into a sick spectator sport. He forever changed forensics, criminal profiling, and how society views the dark alleys of our sprawling cities. While the killer became a dark legend, we must never forget the women: Mary Ann, Annie, Elizabeth, Catherine, and Mary Jane. They were mothers, daughters, and struggling humans crushed by extreme poverty long before the Ripper found them. They deserve to be remembered for their lives, not their horrific deaths. Over a century has passed. The blood on the cobblestones washed away decades ago. The Whitechapel slums are gone, but the phantom remains. Will we ever truly know who was hiding behind Blade? Or is the mystery itself the immortal monument Jack the Ripper built to his own madness? What do you think? Was it a royal conspiracy, an American doctor, or a mad barber? Drop your theory in the comments below. If you want to dive deeper into history's darkest unsolved mysteries, hit that subscribe button. Welcome to the archive room. We will see you in the next video.